Is it
6.
7.
6? So we had.
Why
oh,
7? It used to be 6.
Well, because I read the open meeting law guide, and it says that
Oh.
it should be based on the number of people that should be on the board, even if there's a vacancy, which I also didn't realize myself.
No, but even so, but I wouldn't 6 be a quorum? That's what it used to be.
Oh,
There are 11 on the
really?
board.
Yeah, never mind. It's 11, so it's 6. Never mind.
Just checking. It's like, oh my God, we did it wrong all those years.
Obviously, I can't do math.
No, it's 6. So I just remembered that from the past. That's all.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. So are we ready to start?
Yes, we have 7. We have one more than 6.
We're good.
Let's do it.
We have a super quorum.
All right. And did I just hear that we've already started recording?
Yes.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to the May 13th, 2025 LSP board meeting. I'm Diane Baxter, chair of the LSP board. As always, the board encourages interactive participation. If a member of the public would like to participate in the meeting, please type a question in the chat feature or raise your hand and Chris will let you speak. I encourage all board members to turn their cameras on and ensure your cell phone is on silent mode. I'll now proceed with the roll call to establish who from the board is participating in today's meeting and confirm quorum. David Austin.
Here.
Gail Batchelder.
Here.
Kathy Campbell is not here. Craig Ellis.
Here.
Kirk Franklin.
Here.
Greg McBride.
I am here.
Paul McKinley.
Present.
Deirdre Manoyo is not here. Jamie Smith.
Present.
And Diane Baxter, I am here. Okay. Could we have the people who are in the room introduce themselves in case others can't see? Start with Terry.
I'm Terry Wood. I'm the board's executive director.
David Austin, board member.
Chris Borges, AV support.
Matt Lyon, investigator, CE coordinator.
Right, great. And Chris, is there anyone else from the public participating in the meeting today?
Members of the public, Brian Roden, Mary Ellen Morris, Matthew Kissane, Rebecca Buswell, and Wendy Rundle.
All right, thank you. Welcome, everyone. All right, the first item of business is the Continuing Education Committee. I'll turn it over to David.
Sure. I'm calling the meeting to order at 12:06. I don't know of any changes to the agenda or anything. But,
Motion to approve the agenda is written.
thank you. Meeting minutes from last month. Any comments or edits or motion to approve?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Any comments or edits on it? Meeting minutes? Yes is approving. Going to the roll call. Diane?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Ray?
Yes.
I'll take Craig too. Jamie?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Kirk?
Yes.
I'm a yes. And Greg McBride?
Yes.
Great. There's 2 new course approval requests, both from the LSPA. I think there are membership meetings in May and June, each for one technical and both live webinar with possible future on demand. One is May 13th, the other one is June 11th, and once again, future on demand possibilities. I make a motion to approve both of the course requests.
Second.
Any discussions from the public or the board on these two? A yes is approving two offerings. Diane,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Greg McBride,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Kirk,
Yes.
David's a yes, and Craig.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Then there's a course reapproval request. It was in person last year at the symposium and has a course number. They've changed it to a 2-hour offering, DEP regulatory on demand. I make a motion to approve it with the letter A after the course number.
Second.
Any other discussions about this reapproval of request? A yes is approving the new course. Diane,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Greg McBride,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Kirk,
Yes.
David's a yes, and Craig.
Yes.
Thank you. That's it for the agenda for continuing ed committee, and the next meeting will be on June 10th. And I'm ending it at 12:09.
Okay, next up on the agenda is the Professional Conduct Committee meeting. And I'll turn it over to Jamie for this.
Got a little bit of background noise at the moment. Kirk, do you want to share this?
No, because I don't have that in front of me.
Okay. It's all right. Give me 1 second. All right, called over to the Professional Conduct Committee meeting at 12:10. Any announcements or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll review the draft minutes from April 8th. Any comments or edits to the minutes?
Move to approve.
Motion. Second.
Okay. Yes is approving the minutes. Let's see. David,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Kirk,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Gail.
Yes.
Minutes are approved as written. Moving on to old business, if we can review the active cases. I can turn it over to you, Terry.
Sure. So number 118 CO2. The CRT is scheduled to meet on May 15th. And we're working to get through things so we can schedule another interview with the LSP. Number 2 is 24 CO2. The CRT is scheduled to interview the LSP on June 3rd. And that's it.
I just want to say that's the shortest I've ever seen that list. I think it's reassuring, and they're at a very like late stage in this terms of interviewing. So this is a good sign.
It's good.
Oh, I
Oh,
think
Jamie's on mute.
you're muted, Jamie.
Thank you. Hearing no new business, next meeting will be June 10th, hybrid in person, and we'll adjourn the meeting at 12:13.
All right. We will proceed to the board meeting. Call to order at 12:13. I don't have any announcements. Terry, anyone else? Or
No
changes to the agenda? Okay. Does anyone have any comments or changes to the draft minutes? Okay, assuming no, I make a motion to accept the draft minutes from April 8th.
Second.
Okay, any comments? All right, yes. A yes is to approve the minutes. David Austin,
Yes.
Gail Batchelder,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kirk,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane. I'm a yes. Approved. Okay, the next item is decisions regarding licensing of applicants. Matt, can you discuss the application review panel docket?
Repeat that. All right, so we have 3 candidates to discuss today on the docket here for board action. First one, Matthew Bruno, number 9340. This was ARP number 344 with numbers Baxter, McKinley, and Franklin. This applicant is a standard track candidate, college degree in 2009. Application claimed 14 years of total professional experience with 9 years of relevant professional experience. This applicant is an LSRP and professional engineer in New Jersey. The ARP met on February 6th to review and discuss the application. After that, the ARP requested additional information from the applicant, which he later provided. So the ARP met again on April 10th. In summary, the ARP felt the applicant had met the minimum requirements for relevant professional experience with adequate examples of principal decision-making experience. The professional references further supported the applicant's work experience and relevant professional experience. The ARP recommended that Mr. Bruno be approved to take the exam. Back to you, Diane.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote to accept the recommendation of
Motion
this
to-
applicant.
Motion to approve the recommendation of ARP 344.
Second.
Okay. All right, yes is to approve the applicant. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kirk, you might be on mute.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, we'll go to the next person for now. Oh,
Sure.
okay. Greg McBride,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane. I'm a yes. Okay, Matt, want to
Yep,
continue?
next candidate, Gina Golseth, number 1953. This is ARP 347, members Baxter, Campbell, and Manoyo. This applicant is a standard track candidate, college degree in 1994. I claimed approximately 25 years of total professional experience with 16 years of relevant professional experience. This applicant is a professional engineer in New Hampshire. The ARP met on April 22nd to review and discuss the application. In summary, the ARP felt the applicant had exceeded the requirements for relevant professional experience with a good breakdown of complex projects and good examples of diversity of site assessment work. The professional references supported the time period for the RPE claimed. With that, the ARP recommended that Ms. Goldseth be approved to take the exam.
All
Motion
right.
to approve.
Second.
All right. Very good. Yes is to approve. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kirk,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes. Applicant approved. Matt, one more?
Last one, Nicholas Castingway, number 3032, ARP 350, members McBride, Ellis, and Batchelder. This applicant is a standard track candidate, the college degree in 2009. I claimed approximately 15 years of total professional experience with 13 years of relevant professional experience. This applicant is a professional geologist in New Hampshire. The ARP met on April 22nd to review and discuss the application. The ARP requested additional information from the applicant, which he later provided. So the ARP met again on April 28th. In summary, the ARP felt the applicant had met the minimum requirements for relevant professional experience with examples of principal decision-making experience on 2 large projects. The professional references further support the applicant's work, experience, and RPE. The ARP recommended that Mr. Castingway be approved to take the exam. And
All right. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. David, move to a roll call vote. Is David in the room still?
Yes. I guess the mic is.
No, it shouldn't be. I haven't done anything.
Oh,
here?
yes.
Oh, okay. I could hear you now. Gail?
Is it just me or can everybody else hear? I can't.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
hold on.
I can hear Gail. I can now hear the room.
Let's see.
Gail can,
Can everybody hear? Anyone?
Yep.
Yep, we
Yeah,
got
I
we
you
can
think
here.
it's just Gail.
Just Gail.
all right, just Gail. Well, Gail, while you work that out, I'll continue with the roll.
Can Gail hear everybody else except us?
I'm not sure if Gail can hear any of us.
She's not saying anything, which makes me think she
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
She had an initial trouble in the subcommittee meeting earlier, but then she fixed it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll proceed with the roll call for now. We do have a quorum without her if necessary, but hopefully she can square things away.
Who's on the ARP that made the recommendation?
Okay. Craig,
Yes. Oh, geez. He's texted at the bottom.
Gail just sent a message that said, I
Oh,
approve
she's
of the
voting.
last.
I approve of the last ARP. Can't seem to hear.
Oh, no. Maybe she needs to
Okay.
call you.
So we have Craig, we have Kirk.
yes,
Okay. Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diana is a yes.
And I'm a yes. I just got my sound back.
Hooray.
Excellent. Okay, so Nicholas Castonguay approved. All right. Next, we have the renewal applications. Chris, can you bring up the renewal docket?
In the main document.
Yeah, in the electronic packet. Yeah. Right there below the ARP document. Yeah.
Okay, so we have two candidates on the renewal docket. They were both standard renewal for 4/30. So their new expiration date is 4/30/2028. Could I have a motion to approve?
Motion
So
to
moved.
approve docket number 1.
second,
Okay. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kirk,
yes,
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
I'm a yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane. I'm a yes as well. Docket approved. Matt, could you provide the renewal status report?
Sure. For the April 30th group, there were 12 LSPs on that renewal roster. We did hear back from all 12, and the last 2 were approved moments ago. For the upcoming July 30th group, there's a list of 33 LSPs that are up for renewal. They'll get an email on or about June 1st with a reminder and instructions on how to renew.
All right. Any other renewal related matters from you, Matt? Okay, so we'll go to licensing related matters. Scheduling of future RFP, application review panels.
Yep.
Matt, could you report
So-
this one out?
Sure. At the last meeting, Rob Huning, we ARP number 351 was assembled. Numbers Ellis, Campbell, and Smith. They're going to meet this Thursday to review and discuss that application. Matthew Cassane, ARP 349, members Ellis, Smith, and Manoyo. We're still waiting on 2 references, and then once we get that, the ARP can meet to discuss that application. And we have 2 new applications that came in since the last meeting. We're looking for volunteers to serve on ARPs. That is, first one's Corinne McKenzie of Haley and Aldrich, and the second one is Amanda Ustani from DEP Southeast. So we need some volunteers to review those applications.
I could
This is
serve
Paul.
on
I'm
the
happy to
first.
jump on 1 or 2.
Eric Paul, who's the other one?
I could serve on the first one.
Yeah,
I
do you
can
want
serve
to
on-
both?
I can do either one or both. Yeah, I'm happy to.
Greg, I see
Yeah,
your
I can
box is
serve.
up.
I can serve on one. That's fine. Yep.
I have one more.
yeah,
All right, Kirk, thank you. I'll be in touch. For Amanda's application, we have all the documents that we need, so I'll send those around this week. For Corinne, we're still waiting on references, so that might take a little while. Thank you.
All right. For the inactive status report, Natasha, could you report that out?
Natasha couldn't be here today, so I'll do this part.
Oh,
So
okay.
there are currently 4 LSPs on inactive status. The total number of active LSPs is 403. And for the annual fees report, suspension notices were sent out on April 2nd, stating that payment needed to be made by July 2nd, or the LSP license would be revoked. As of now, only one person went into the suspension phase for having not paid. And that's it.
All right, thanks. All right, next is the report from a recent quasi-judicial session, and I will provide that. So this is from regarding the administrative consent order regarding complaint 18C01. At a quasi-judicial session held on February 1st, 2025, the case review team members for complaint 18C01, Ms. Batchelder, Ms. Campbell, and Ms. Wood, the two former present remotely and Ms. Wood present in person, presented the terms of the proposed early settlement that, if approved, would resolve this complaint prior to the presentation of a CRT report or the issuance of an order to show cause. During the presentation, the LSP's name was not disclosed. The other members of the board who were present were as follows: Craig Ellis, Kirk Franklin, Paul McKinley, Deirdre Manoyo, and Jamie Smith were present remotely. David Austin and Diane Baxter were present in the room. Board members absent, Mr. McBride. The CRT members briefly explained that they had been investigating both A, the allegations presented by the complaint regarding 7 sites, and B, possible violations at 5 additional sites. The CRT's preliminary assessment prior to a CRT report of the LSP's work at these sites has been presented in writing to the board prior to the quasi-judicial session. The CRT members said that they had not yet fully concluded their investigation or drafted a CRT report. Nevertheless, they said they had substantially completed their investigation and formed enough of an opinion to join with the respondent LSP in presenting a joint proposed early settlement agreement for the board's review and approval. The proposed settlement was that 1, the LSP agrees to voluntarily surrender his license and agrees to not reapply for a minimum of 4 years. And prior to reapplying, the LSP would have to complete 16 hours of continuing education in courses pre-approved by the board that involve site characterization, hydrogeology, or the Massachusetts Contingency Plan. And finally, if the LSP gets relicensed, those 16 credits cannot be applied toward the LSP's license renewal. At the conclusion of the discussion, a motion was made and seconded to accept the terms of the proposed agreement. The 7 board members present who were not in the CRT approved the motion unanimously. Thereafter, the respondent LSP signed an administrative consent order. The voluntary surrender of the LSP's license took effect on April 30th, 2025. Throughout this discussion, the respondent's name was kept confidential. Now that this complaint has been resolved, the LSP's name, Christopher P. Parent, is being made public. And that's the end of the report. The next item on the agenda is exams. Could I have the exam committee report from Matt?
Sure. Thanks, Diane. The subject matter experts completed the technical review phase for the new questions on the exam. For the next phase, which is the cut score workshop, the subject matter experts started that task last week. And the next meeting is scheduled for May 28th to discuss the exam scoring results. After the cut score workshop is completed, the psychometrician will score the exam, and then the board staff can finalize the exam and be ready to schedule the exam dates.
All right. Thank
Can
you.
we estimate a month that the exam may take place based upon how far along we are? Or you don't want to do that?
I'm thinking that we may be able to offer it this summer, earlier than we had thought before. So there'll be more information forthcoming, but it's not gonna take as much time as I think we were thinking the last couple of months, so that's good news.
Thanks.
That's good. Any other questions or comments on that? All right. The next item is the Continuing Education Committee. Could we have a report from today's meeting by David?
Sure. We met today. We approved the meeting minutes from last month, and we approved 2 new course offerings, and we approved another course. And we're meeting again next month, June 10th.
All right. Thank you. Jamie, could you give us the Professional Conduct Committee report?
Yes, we met briefly to approve last month's minutes and to review the 2 active disciplinary cases. Committee took no further action beyond that.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, next item is the Application Review Subcommittee. Terry, could you report out on that?
Yes, the subcommittee met this morning before the board meeting started, and talked about potential changes to the application forms and instructions and plans to meet next on the morning of June 10th before the board meeting to continue discussion.
All right, thank you. Could you also give us an update on regulations?
Yes, the agency review of the draft regulatory amendments was concluded at the end of April. So we have moved forward to do the notice for the public hearing. So the notice of a public hearing on the amendments will be published in the Mass Register and 2 newspapers on May 23rd. The public hearing to take oral comments on the proposed amendments is scheduled for June 16th at 6 p.m. via Zoom. And written comments on the amendments can be submitted until 5 o'clock on June 26th. After the public hearing and the time for written comments has passed, any comments we've received will go before the board at a subsequent board meeting for review and discussion, and then any additional edits that the board wants to make to the regulations can take place. If we get enough comments, we might want to do a response to comments document, which would be posted on the website. We're not required to do that, but it often makes sense to do that if we get enough comments. And then once the board votes on a final version of the amendments, it has to go again through the internal agency review before it can be published by the Secretary of State. So we're moving along, so the public hearing will be taking place next month. And does anybody have any questions about that?
Is that on the board website?
It
the link to the
is,
hearing?
and the public hearing, when that's the notice, when it's published on the 23rd, will tell people where to go. We'll have a link to go so they can review the documents.
And there was nothing to address from DEP review by the board before the public went up?
No.
Public went up?
No.
Thank you.
There were just some minor editorial amendments. nothing substantive.
Very good. Okay, one more, Terry. Anything to say on personnel, budget, and fees?
I do have something on the budget. So the proposed House and Senate version of the budget for the next fiscal year, they both represented a 9% drop in the amount of the money allocated to the board. However, it hasn't been finalized, and even if it does at this lower number, I don't foresee that as a problem, because since I've been here, we haven't been using all of our money. It's been going, a portion's been going back to the general fund, so I think it wouldn't be a problem for us to do anything we need to do next fiscal year, even if there is a slight reduction in our budget. That's all I have to say on that.
All right, very good. Item 15 is the status of board member vacancies. We are still in the same position we've been in at this point, with one vacancy for an environmental organization seat on the board. So if anyone knows anyone, please alert. I think, Terry, that's on that notification is on the website as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Other business, Terry?
I have, one other thing I want to report, that the board staff is working on updating the board's webpage to make it more clear, and we want people to be able to find the relevant information they might want from our website more easily. So we're trying to redo the webpage, the homepage, as well as some of the underlying pages, to make everything clearer, and so everybody can find stuff more easily. So we're working with IT staff on that, and hopefully we can get that done in the next couple months.
Excellent. All right. Anyone have anything else? Comments? All right. If not, our next meeting is scheduled for June 10th, and we'll adjourn at 12:39. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Go to lunch.
Yeah.